then went, hey, I need to talk to you. And I had to come out at that time. Like, I was worried that they weren't going to talk to me anymore.
So, I guess my question is more like, what goes from, when you go from, gender curious is a thing.
Yes.
Being gender curious is definitely out there.
Mm-hmm.
And questioning is also a sexuality.
Correct. So, what makes a person go from, what makes you two go from gender curious or gender questioning to, this is what I am?
Leo, I want you to go first on that one.
Again, I didn't like the concept of gender for a while.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I don't like this, so I used all pronouns. And then I was like, you know what? I'm tired of being called she. I'm removing that pronoun, and I just got called he, and I was like, okay, this is where I am now.
Okay.
I think, I had asked a few of my close friends a while ago to try using he for me. I wasn't a huge fan of it, but I wasn't against it. Anything was better than she. And I switched to he, they. The they and the they, he got ignored. As it often does by most people. And I think that was when I finally was like, you know what, let's just try this, let's see what happens. And I realized at that time that I personally loved they, it pronouns.
So, can you honestly say that you're happier this way?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
More self-confidence, more courage.
Being true to who I am makes me feel much better than anything else I've ever done.
Okay. All right. Like I said, I know for me, I remember having a conversation in the backyard with my sister and my mom and discussing it kind of briefly, and they just kind of looked at me like I was a little weird.
I think most people look at being transgender as it's something you know when you're little. Because I have friends' parents who think that way.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why they won't come out to them. But I think a lot of people have this weird idea that it's something you know when you're young. You're just like, something's wrong. And for some people it is, but for a few others it's not.
Well, and again, you know, in this generation, in your generation, you guys are dealing with and have this terminology being acceptable is transgender.
Mm-hmm.
When I was a kid, it was called being a tomboy.
For the longest time I thought I was just a really, really tomboyish kid.
Well, and that's
just like
exactly what
football.
it was for me. It was being tomboys. I was just a tomboy.
Yeah.
There was no idea beyond it until, you know, we started actually, you know, looking at the transgender community. And I went, you know, and there were times when you guys were really little, especially when they were little, when I went, you know, how would they feel if they had another dad? What if I came out as dad to them?
Mm-hmm.
And I always kept putting it off because there was enough confusion in y'all's lives, and you really didn't need. Let's not add to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, where other people's problems are more important than your own. See where it comes from?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's genetic.
It's genetic.
It's quite genetic and we have no cure.
It comes
Sorry.
with the sarcasm.
It was
does.
not meant to make a song reference, my bad.
So, like I said, you know, those things, they finally came out, and then I did. You know, I'd had that conversation with, you know, Nana, and I got to a point where, and I was at work when I got to that point, which was really, really odd considering, like I said, where I work. And I went, you know what, I'm going to talk to somebody that I know is part of the community and get their take on it. Because I was worried about being fired. I was worried about, you know, misrepresentation and picked on and all sorts of other stuff. And I remember, you know, walking into this person's office and going, hey, look, I need to talk to you about this, and how do you think I would be perceived if I came out as... And he went, oh, honey. Kind of like just how Lilith did to you. Was, oh, come here, honey. It was very, very welcoming and very, very inviting. And that first person that you kind of open up to, I think it's critical.
Yeah.
Oh, it's very critical.
It can make or break it.
It can. I feel like if you have a bad experience, like the first time you try to come out, you really don't try again.
Yeah. Or you hide it. And that's one thing I feel really bad about for kids, because the kids who are, like you said, you kind of know this at a younger age now, because the word transgender is out there, and almost everybody knows
I
what it is.
think I realized I was attracted to the same sex before I came out as trans, which kind of messed me up, because when I came out as trans, I went, oh, I don't like women anymore. Oh, man. It's really weird, and I know it sounds bad, but that's exactly what happened.
And the thing for me is, like, the guys at work, you know, they're like, hey, you know, we need to go hit the bar and start checking out hotties. And I'm like, yeah, no, that's not, no. My
Nope.
gender changed, not my sexual orientation.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that part didn't change at all. And they're like, oh, wait, so you're... And I'm like, yes. Oh,
Oh no.
well, that just changes it all. Now we can't be friends. I'm like, we weren't friends to begin with. It's quite all right.
How are we friends?
You're one of the
I
boys
teach
now.
you.
Now you're one of the boys now. Wait, you like men?
I know. Why? Yeah, and it's funny too because like they're like creeped out. Like, oh wait, now you're a dude that likes dudes versus when you were a chick that liked dudes. So why is it? I'm like, what's the difference?
Because it was socially acceptable back then.
I know.
It's still not socially acceptable in a lot of places, which is very weird.
It's weird. I see cis guys in my school
Mhm.
who make heterosexual look gay.
Yes. Oh my god. Yes.
Yeah. All right. So we're at 50 minutes.
We're at 50 minutes.
50.
I can't
Almost
Dang.
Dang.
Candy canes and fluffy bunnies and all those other words.
And you managed to censor. Look at you go.
Look at you.
I should've got you a gold
I know,
star.
which is a lot better than what Ace did.
Don't
earlier
give
in
me
the
a gold
episode.
star.
Okay, anyway, we're going to wrap this up. Okay.
Alright.
So I want to, again, you know, thank Ace for coming and kind of really had no choice but hanging out
I
with
did
us.
get forced here.
Yes. Yeah. We tied Ace to a chair and made him talk.
Help
dragged him
me.
here.
How you today?
Dragged him here on the back of a truck.
That's right.
Actually, I was in the front of the truck.
We can tie you to the back of it.
I got the passenger seat.
All right. Holy buckets. This is normal.
It is.
It is. Welcome to
The
welcome to our
banter.
lunches.
Mm-hmm. So, like I said, I want to thank Ace for being here with us today on this our first live podcast. We want to, you know, kind of go over those high points. We did talk about, you know, that we're not alone. What it's like to come out, how important it is to come out to the right people, and how some people, you know, choose to handle their dysphoria, and that it is okay to be different.
Oh yeah, being yourself is more important than fitting in. 100%.
Being a nonconformist is so much better than being a conformist.
Normal is the worst insult of them all.
There's no such thing.
There's
as
no
normal.
reason to fit in when you're born to stand out. Be yourself. It's not
Oh, I
fit
like
in.
that line. I've heard that. I actually think I've read that somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. Be you, everybody else is boring. Everybody,
Yeah.
no, what is it? Be you, everybody else is taken.
I always look at that as like, oh, that username's taken.
I know, right? Yeah, I
Because
come up
I
with
look
another
at that.
username. So, again, we want to thank everybody. We really, really appreciate you listening to our first live podcast. We got a couple of, you know, hits and dings on and hopefully, you know, the next live podcast that we do, we'll have more interaction, but hey, a little interaction is better than none.
Yeah.
100%.
100%, absolutely. We can only go up from here.
We're at rock bottom. You know what that means? We can only go up now, baby.
Okay. on that note,
Love myself.
on that note,
We're just gonna end this here.
Yeah. Gay is showing.
Showing. Put it away.
On that
Yes,
note,
sir.
all right, I want to thank everybody, and we are going to see you all sometime during the week. We'll try and get another podcast out here, probably pre-recorded.
Definitely pre-recorded.
'Cause
Yeah.
Leo just can't handle all this, you know, spontaneousness. It's just
Spontaneous combustion?
ooh.
We like spontaneous combustion. Yeah.
Combucking?
Combustion. English.
On
My
that
specialty.
on that note,
We're gonna keep ranting.
no ranting.
Yes.
No,
Yes.
no.
Yes.
All right,
Okay.
later.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for catching this episode of Let's Talk Trans with your hosts Gabe and Leo. Hey, we really appreciated you, and we hope that you appreciated us. If you like what you're hearing and you want to hear more, feel free to like us on Spreaker or Spotify, or wherever it is that you pick up your podcasts. Until next time, later.